Hurricane Lee strengthened into a Category 5 hurricane. Peak intensity expected this weekend to become a dangerous hurricane over the southwestern Atlantic early next week. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp reports.
Hurricane Lee, unfortunately, has commenced its period of rapid intensification as we've been advertising in the forecast.
And it's all hands on deck for Jamie Rome and the rest of the team at the National Hurricane Center, monitoring Hurricane Lee. Rome says Lee is getting stronger by the second.
It's centered sort of safely out here over the central Atlantic, save marine interest, and it's going to move steadily off to the northwest for the next 4 or 5 days, and that would position it early next week just to the north of Puerto Rico or just to the east of the Bahamas.
While forecasts predict Lee will stay away from land areas in the Caribbean, it could still be dangerous, even deadly.
Is going to get really big. So it's going to grow in sort of size and intensity over the next several days. That is going to produce a ton of waves out over the open water. And when these waves start to emanate in all directions and strike land, that's when the rip current risk is going to skyrocket. And, it's going to produce just dangerous surf conditions. And a lot of people really miscalculate this risk.
The National Hurricane Center says over the course of a year, more than 100 people die from strong rip currents. They say that number is a lot higher than the amount of people that die from hurricane winds and storm surge.
I need people to understand the severity of that threat, even though it's not as widely understood and respected. I'm telling you from experience that rip currents are is one of the more deadly aspects of a hurricane, especially one that stays offshore, like we're currently predicting Lee to do.
In Washington, D.C., Rachel Knapp, One Caribbean Television.
The White House says President Joe Biden has been briefed on the trajectory of Hurricane Lee and is updated on FEMA's preparedness in the Virgin Islands and in Puerto Rico.